There are a lot of shady chapters in football's history that will make you sick to your stomach. When you think of football, you think about the loud cheers from the crowd, the nail-biting suspenses on the field, and the glory of victory. What you don't know are the shady deals, bribes, and betrayals that have ruined some of football's most famous moments. From the notorious Calciopoli scandal to the controversial 2002 World Cup, where Italy and Spain were left crying foul. Just as we thought we'd seen it all, a whistleblower revealed an explosive secret that would shake the entire football world. What is this revelation, and who will it expose? Join us as we uncover the underbelly of football's darkest scandals. Starting things off, we have the disgrace of the Gijón scandal. The famed disgrace of Gijón remains a 90-minute cautionary tale of how significantly tournament scheduling and structure can impact results. Gijón, a coastal city in northwest Spain, hosted the 1982 World Cup disgrace. The 2014 tournament, which began with 6 groups of 4, allowed just 2 African teams, and Algeria defeated West Germany 2-1 in the opener. Algeria was competing alongside West Germany and Austria for one of the group's 2 spots in the second round after the group stage. No African nation had previously advanced in a World Cup. The issue arose when Algeria had already completed their group stage matches, while the other 2 teams were starting their final game in Gijón. The neighboring teams knew what was needed to pass at Algeria's expense. Horst Hrubesch's 10th-minute goal gave West Germany a final 1-0 advantage. Germany and Austria advanced on goal differential after 2 wins and a loss in group play. FIFA rejected Algeria's protest. No regulations were broken, it was a huge dent to the integrity of football. Coming in next is the 2015 FIFA corruption scandal. This was no ordinary scandal. It began when U.S. federal prosecutors indicted numerous high-ranking FIFA officials for significant bribery and corruption. FIFA Vice President Jeffrey Webb and former CONCACAF President Jack Warner were arrested. Allegations included racketeering, money laundering, and millions of dollars in bribes. The scandal didn't happen overnight. The FBI Swiss probe revealed decades of corruption. FIFA's award of lucrative TV rights and World Cup host city bidding seems to be affected. As more people wondered how pervasive the wrongdoing was and who else was implicated, calls for change grew. The scandal also involved FIFA President Sepp Blatter, and pressure forced his suspension and resignation. The scandal was a watershed moment that led FIFA to pledge changes and increase openness. Next up is the child abuse scandal in English football. In 2016, the English football world was hit with a shocking scandal. It all started when Andy Woodward, a former footballer, courageously emerged from the shadows to share his harrowing experience of assault abuse as a young player. In an interview with The Guardian, Woodward recounted the disturbing actions of his youth coach, Barry Bennell, during his time at Crewe Alexandra.
I was 11, I was playing football, but then it rapidly got worse, and then he raped me.
And then it escalated into a scandal that swept through clubs and communities all over the UK. Woodward's testimony unleashed a torrent of courage, inspiring numerous other survivors to bravely share their own experiences. The staggering number of accounts exposed the extensive scope of the abuse, implicating multiple clubs and coaches throughout England. In 2018, Barry Bennell, a central figure in the scandal, was convicted of multiple counts of child abuse and was handed a hefty 31-year prison sentence. Other coaches and officials were also investigated, leading to further convictions and legal actions. The West Ham and Carlos Tevez scandal. The 2006-2007 Premier League season was shaping up to be a challenging one for West Ham United. But after a promising start, the Hammers found themselves spiraling down the table, facing the grim prospect of relegation. So in a bold move, the club signed 2 Argentine stars, Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano, in a controversial deal that would soon make headlines. With the season coming to an end, West Ham went on an absolutely remarkable streak, clinching victory in 7 out of their final 9 matches. Tevez played a crucial role in this comeback, netting important goals, including a remarkable shot against Manchester United in the season's last match. This victory solidified West Ham's Premier League status, marking one of the most remarkable comebacks in the annals of football. However, the drama didn't end on the pitch. The registration controversy surrounding Tevez resulted in a hefty £5.5 million fine for West Ham. As a consequence, Sheffield United, who were relegated instead of West Ham, took legal action and ultimately secured a compensation settlement. The saga led to the Premier League implementing stricter regulations on third-party ownership, which had a significant impact on future player transfers in English football. And now, we have the Paris Saint-Germain discrimination scandal. In 2021, PSG became the center of attention due to a scandal involving allegations of racial discrimination within its scouting practices. There was quite a stir surrounding the controversy as it came to light that PSG scouts had resorted to an unlawful technique of ethnic profiling when assessing young players. An investigative report by Mediapart, a French news outlet, shed light on the issue, as it was part of the Football League's disclosures. The report uncovered that PSG's scouting department had been maintaining records that categorized players by their ethnicity, specifically noting whether they were of French, Maghrebi, which is North African, West Indian, or African origin. This profiling reportedly took place between 2013 and 2018. PSG acknowledged that such practices had taken place, but stated that senior management was unaware of the illegal profiling system. The club quickly put an end to the practice as soon as they found out. However, the scandal sparked a wave of backlash from both the general public and various anti-racism organizations. Operation Puerto doping scandal. Spanish football conducted a series of raids in May 2006 that shook the sports world. Operation Puerto, called after the Spanish term for port, investigated a drug trafficking network, and further investigation revealed a frightening connection to professional sports, particularly football. At the heart of this Operation Puerto was Dr. Eufemiano Fuentes, a Spanish physician who ran a sophisticated doping operation. Fuentes and his associates were accused of giving football players performance-enhancing substances. High-profile players and teams were involved, shocking football fans. Teams like Real Madrid, FC Barcelona, and others were linked to the scandal, although no direct evidence tied them to systematic doping. The implications were far-reaching, affecting reputations and leading to widespread mistrust. The consequences led to a crackdown on doping and enhanced football anti-doping efforts. Next on the list is the Marseille match-fixing scandal. Marseille's 1992-93 scandal began days before that final. In addition to their pursuit of European glory, Marseille made their way to Valenciennes, a team fighting to avoid relegation with the goal of securing a victory to clinch the title. And they did just that, emerging triumphant with a 1-0 victory, marking the first step towards their double triumph. However, news soon emerged that all was not as it seemed. Marseille midfielder Jean-Jacques Ideli, a former Nantes teammate, persuaded Valenciennes player Jacques Glassman with 250,000 francs, around 30,000 pounds, to take his foot off the gas. Two other Valenciennes footballers, George Buruchaga and Christophe Robert, were also bribed. With criminal investigations underway, the football world was filled with recriminations. Marseille faced severe consequences as they were stripped off the Ligue 1 title, relegated, and denied the opportunity to defend their Champions League title. Tafi received a 2-year prison term in which he served 8 months, while Ideli, then 27 and seemingly at the zenith of his career, was suspended and banned from football for 18 months. Next, the Anderlecht bribe scandal. Belgian club Anderlecht was convicted of bribing the referee in their 1984 UEFA Cup semi-final against Nottingham Forest. This scandal only came to light 11 years after it happened. In April 1984, Clough led Nottingham Forest to Belgium to face Anderlecht in the second leg of their UEFA Cup semi-final, 2 goals up from the first leg at the City ground. Clough was upset with the appointment of Spanish referee Emilio Guruceta Muro, who had officiated a standard Liège versus Napoli game bizarrely. When Anderlecht officials entered Muro's dressing room before kickoff, Clough's anxieties and memories of Turin returned. Forest were capable of reaching the final despite the home side halving the aggregate after 20 minutes. Things went south on the hour when Kenny Swain was called for bringing down Anderlecht's Kenneth Bryle in the penalty area. Edwin Vandenberg gave the hosts a lead in the tie with 2 minutes left, but Forest won the aggregate as Hart headed home a corner in the dying seconds. However, for some reason, Muro disallowed the goal and sent the Belgians through to the final. It was well known among the crowd that Forest had been cheated, but it wasn't until 1997 that Anderlecht finally confessed that their former president, Constant van den Stock, had employed the services of a local gangster to bribe the Spanish referee with a sum of 18,000 pounds. They were banned from Europe for a year. Now, the South Korea 2002 World Cup duel scandal. If you mistakenly mentioned Byron Moreno and Italy, the Camorra may put out a contract on you. The Ecuadorian official became famous when he officiated a World Cup Finals round of 16 match between Italy and co-host South Korea in 2002. You know, referees are often called homers, but Moreno took this to a new level. In the first half, Moreno gave the Koreans a penalty for no reason, which Gigi Buffon saved. And that's not all. The match saw several questionable decisions, including a disallowed goal for Italy and a red card for Francesco Totti, which many felt was undeserved. South Korea won the match with a golden goal in extra time, but the controversies left a sour taste. If the Italians were upset by their 2002 World Cup departure, Spain felt ready to make war on South Korea after another shady quarterfinal match. However, Egyptian referee Gamal El Gandour was determined to send the co-host to the last four by never letting Spain score. Spain had two disputed goals disallowed for supposed infringements that many argued were non-existent. The match ended in a penalty shootout, with South Korea emerging victorious. Spanish fans were furious that they were denied a victory. Italy and Spain demanded hearings concerning these matches officiating, and unfortunately, FIFA defended the integrity of the tournament, although conspiracies and corruption arose. Moreno's true character came to the surface after he was suspended by the Ecuadorian football authorities for 20 matches after his World Cup performance and questionable timekeeping in a Liga Deportiva Universitaria game against Barcelona Sporting Club. He was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison in 2010 for attempting to smuggle 6 kilos of heroin into the country in his underwear at JFK Airport. Then, Calciopoli scandal. This scandal rocked the world of football in the summer of 2006, leaving one of Italy's most successful clubs, Juventus, in chaos. The club was accused of influencing referee appointments. Luciano Moggi, Juventus' general manager, and Antonio Giraudo, CEO, were involved in the affair. Moggi was accused of influencing officials to favor Juventus in crucial matches, perhaps affecting league championships. Consequently, the club lost its 2005 and 2006 Serie A titles and was relegated to Serie B for the next season. Juventus also received a 9-point deduction to start Serie B. Many club officials and players were fined and banned after the scandal. The scandal also affected Juventus and other famous clubs including AC Milan, Fiorentina, and Lazio. The scandal ignited a wave of doubt in Italian football, leaving fans and sponsors disheartened and causing Serie A's global standing to suffer. These are some of the scandals that have affected football over the years. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss what's coming next. But before that, you absolutely need to check what you missed out on in the previous video. See you there.